This is Unpeeled, Veggie Tales in the Raw. I'm your host, Andie.
And I'm your other host, Riley.
And we're here to slice into all things veggie.
From classic episode breakdowns to rooting up some deep-seated feelings for our beloved, or perhaps loathed, vegetable icons.
We throw it all on the cutting board and uncover the scandals behind the scallions. Welcome to Unpeeled, Veggie Tales in the Raw.
Okay, so we just watched episode 2 of season 1 of Veggie Tales.
Yes.
Do they have episode titles?
I think the title is Are You My Neighbor?
Oh, yes. One of the better, I feel like Veggie Tales really does tell mostly good lessons and mostly done well, but definitely one that feels very hot and important right now. I feel like we should give some background as to like our lives with Veggie Tales.
Yes. So Riley, let's unpack
Absolutely
Riley
not you
for
first.
a little bit.
No.
Okay, all right. My history with the Veggie Boys. They started me young. They started me at a young age. It's true. I grew up, they kept making newer episodes that I have not seen. Admittedly, I am not an up-to-date veggie person, but grew up loving them. Watched them probably till I was a little too old to be watching and enjoying them. So,
We just watched them and we're in our late 20s now. So I don't think that there is a too old.
you're right. That's true. I'll tell you, I actually did watch the Veggie Tales version of Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Beans.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
It's-
Wow, we have to watch that one sometime.
Oh, yes, because I saw that before I saw Lord of the Rings. So that just ruined all of Lord of the Rings for me.
Oh no.
So yeah, we'll watch that. We'll watch that for sure. Tell me about your love of the veggie folk, Riley, or hatred. I don't know.
No. Definitely love. I definitely grew up with Veggie Tales. I feel like we need a third definitely in there since I said that twice. Well, and I definitely love coming back to them after all this time. So I started watching them. I also grew up in a church in a rural town, and everybody watched Veggie Tales. But the thing is that one of the things that we're going to talk about at some point is like, why was Veggie Tales so popular for all demographics? It wasn't just the religious kids. There are plenty of people that nowadays they're like, oh my gosh, is that Veggie Tales? And I'm like, yes. And it kind of became a cultural phenomena and like is in the zeitgeist now, at least our generation for sure.
That's true. Like all walks of life have, a lot of them have encountered the Veggie Tales at some point. Although I guess both of us come from very similar, smaller-ish town community religious culture. So we were
and
steeped.
then went to art school in Seattle.
Slightly different vibe there.
Everyone there still knew what Veggie Tales was, or most people. So I'm just saying, it's wild.
And this, I can't believe, I'm so glad we recorded this on this day, marking the 30th anniversary to the day of this episode. The episode that arguably launched them into the stardom that they know and are embracing today.
All together!
Yippee-ki-yay, today is a special day. Yippee-ki-yay, today we celebrate you.
So from the intro, I'm already wondering, were people actually sending in letters? Like, was that a real letter from Latasha Robbins, Savannah, Georgia?
They could not have, because this was episode 2.
Oh my gosh, because in my head I saw that and thought, oh my gosh, could I have written to them and then I could have seen my question? Could I still, is the real question. If I wrote them today, would they answer were they really there to answer our questions?
Yeah, I was thinking about it and I was like, they must have had the whole first season done before release, which is not unpopular because even the intro song, they have like all of these clips from later episodes and even movies that we see.
Yeah.
And maybe they could have like known what they were going to do, and so they had their shitty little graphics up
Don't
and
you
running
come after
somewhere
that.
else and
Don't
just
you
made
come
little,
after that.
The CGI is bad at best, especially in this episode this early on.
I love it. I love it so much.
I know one of the questions I wrote down while watching it was, does the CGI get better, or is my mind playing tricks on me?
Well, you know what? They did a better job than I could do. So you know what? Veggie Tales, Big Idea Productions, I'm standing for you right now. I enjoyed it.
It was really early on. This is 30 years ago and really low budget. I mean, I don't know that there was anything in the sort of like kids realm of Christian media that ever held a candle to how popular Veggie Tales was. So, and this only being their second episode, they wouldn't have known how wildly famous they were going to get.
That's
this
true.
Early.
The story of Flibber-o-Loo.
Now, the town to the west that thought it was best bore the name Flibber-o-Loo, where the women and men since 1710 have worn on their heads one large shoe.
Is it the only poem episode? So the whole... Oh, we should give a recap of what happened.
Yes.
Recap time.
Based on the Good Samaritan story in the Bible. So it's the rivalry between the two cities, throwing pots and shoes at each other. And then poor Larry gets stuck in a hole and gets saved by a boy from... It's not Gibberty Lot. That's the other city name, Gibberty Lot.
But only after the mayor and doctor of Flibber-o-Loo sing an iconic song where they say, "We're busy, dreadfully busy, much too busy for you."
Yeah, he was the third one who walked by, and finally he was like, "All right, I'll help him."
Yeah, how does that make you feel to have Junior Asparagus be the Good Samaritan?
I think Junior in this story, because we were clearly going into a fictional tale, like a not fictional, what am I looking for? Junior was lying, basically, is what I'm trying to say. This is fiction for Junior. That is not his disposition, okay? We find out in the next storyline how Junior really feels. So this was Junior prime time acting. Like, give this boy an Emmy, an Oscar, give him all the awards, because this was just straight up falsities.
Are you proposing that he only helped because he knew that everyone was going to treat him like a hero and give him rewards at the end?
I'm saying it's because it was in his script. I think they pulled Junior over and they were like, this is your role. Like, do your best. I know this is not typecast. Like, we're sorry, but just do your best. I think that's what happened. So he wanted to be in the show.
And he said,
Get out of my face!
Yeah, and he probably slapped someone with his invisible non-hand. Look, we'll dive into Junior in the next story, but yeah, for now, he's the hero.
Yeah, it's a very simple story. He just like brings him over and then they sing a little song together that they like, love your neighbor.
Yeah.
But is this, the entire episode is a poem, is like rhymed throughout. Is this the only rhyme episode?
I'm fairly certain it is, because it was inspired by like Dr. Seuss books. So they kept it in that Seussical form, which it does give the Grinch or the Butter Battle vibes. Did you read that? The Butter Battle?
No.
Ooh, highly recommend. Yeah, you need to know how you butter your toast.
Can we also talk about how actually the comedic timing of Veggie Tales is fucking incredible? Or they're like,
Larry.
or his
Wind-up lobster.
out of nowhere, just to rhyme it with something.
I'm wondering which rhyme came first, because they called him a
Mobster.
and then they rhymed lobster. But part of me is wondering, were you just trying to find something to rhyme with lobster so you had a reason, an excuse to put this lobster in there?
Absolutely. They probably had a single asset already made that was a wind-up lobster, and they're like software that they downloaded, and they're like, we gotta put this in. Or the little la-la-las that happen in it.
The poetic gentleman in Flibber-o-Loo, yes, on his balcony doing poems. La 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 la
And greet
la
all
la
their
la.
friends with a smile.
Yep.
I'm gonna insert that as a soundbite for sure. Also, I'm sorry.
Oh no. Go.
There are some weirdly sexual innuendos in here
What?
where
No.
where the mayor of Flibber-o-Loo is like, that's not my pickle. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Should I leave you and your pickle alone? Or whatever she says.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't even pick up on that. Wow. Wow. It's, if you have a pickle stuck in a hole, It is a setup. You can't not make it sound sexual.
All right. Anyway, so Junior Asparagus then sings "Love Your Neighbor," and it's so close to being the message that it needs to be. But listen, I'm gonna stand very firm on. I think it's fine to have like. I think the Veggie Tales is one of the only examples of like Christian media for kids that doesn't super feel like intense indoctrination to me. It tells Bible stories and it says things like God wants us to blah, 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 blah. And then the only thing that I have a problem with at the end is Cordy. I hate Cordy, and we'll talk about that
You and
later.
Bob.
So does Bob. So my sister. It's so close. But the thing that gets me is that the message at the end of that particular one is you should care about others because God wants you to. And that's like, okay, but like you have to make that make sense to kids. And the real message is like, you should care about others because we're all the same.
Yeah.
Because we all feel the same thing, because you don't want people to be mean to you. We do eventually get there in the second part of this episode.
Sure.
So I'm grateful for it. I like wrote it out at the end. I was like, yes, good. Thank goodness Mike Asparagus for coming in here and laying on the truth serum right at the end. But I was like, so close, so close.
It's true, because that's hard for especially a young kid to wrap their head around, like, okay, we're doing this because that's what God wants us to do. Like, I don't know. That's not going to stick with
That's
them
like a mom
necessarily.
saying, because.
Yeah, because I said so. I know, you got to have more of that golden rule. Like, well, we want to love others and treat others how we treat ourselves, you know? We want to... There's a reason for, like, showing that goodness and care for other people. It's not just because it's a rule and you have to.
Correct. Now is the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song.
The most iconic silly song known to man. The Hairbrush song.
I could not believe that it was this early in the season.
Yes. Man, they started strong. Ugh, this one,
I feel like we have to roll it. I feel like we fully need the whole song.
Roll
or okay,
Yeah.
all right, maybe not the whole song.
Twice.
Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where, 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 oh, where
But we need the song.
is my hairbrush?
Like, we can play the whole song, and then you and I can do a reenactment and sing through, like a karaoke track of it.
Oh,
Where is my hairbrush? Back there, back there, back there, back there, back there, back there, back there.
I think I saw a hairbrush back there.
Who is that? Johnny Bravo?
That's Paul Grape. I think I saw a hairbrush
Oh
back
yeah, can
there.
we talk about how the gayest vegetables were brought on, and it was Pa Grape, gay, Junior Asparagus, a gay to be. Bob is okay. We're gonna have a long-standing talk about this. Bob and
him
Larry.
and Larry.
Yeah, Bob
Yeah.
and Larry are like civil union partners that live together and love each other dearly. And Bob wears the pants, and Larry brings the fun.
Oh, they share a shelf in the fridge. That's so cute.
Junior Asparagus literally comes in as a catty little bitch,
Yeah.
knocks Larry over, hits him with the door, says, you don't have hair, and then slams the door in his face.
And the villainy is unpeeled. Right there.
But the reason that we have proof that all of these queers are part of the sisterhood of the gay traveling pants, oh, that got away from me, is because they enter, and every time the narrator says Larry's in his towel, and they look a little nervous,
Shocked and
ashamed
slightly
and
embarrassed. Yes.
Yeah.
Shocked and slightly
And then
embarrassed.
they pause and blush, and then they say, I don't know, your hairbrush might be over here.
Then they look him up and down real quick. Just they take in what's there.
But the gayest thing that happens
What?
is at the end, Bob says, I gave it to the peach because he has hair. And then a peach comes in, also in a towel.
Yeah.
They look at each other embarrassed up and down. And then they jump into veggie coitus.
Whoa now. whoa now.
I mean, probably.
It's a cucumber and a peach, so yeah, that might be.
It's so blatant.
But even paw grape,
I'm sure that's exactly what they intended.
I need you to break down paw grape for me though, because immediately when he came on the scene, you were like gay, and I was like, what? I didn't even have time to pick that up. Like,
yeah, well,
what cued you in?
That mustache is finely groomed. He comes in with his little circle glasses. Everybody knows those are slut glasses.
Slut glasses.
He comes in and he says, "Oh, I'm embarrassed." What? And then he hops on out of there. He came in just to see Larry in that towel.
Oh my gosh. Riley, okay, wait. So if circle glasses are slut glasses, I mean, I
got circle glasses.
I was about to say, it's been a few weeks, but if I do recollect, I believe you've got some circles on that face over there.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
You are what you wear.
I've got square frames on right now. So what is that? No. Okay.
Yeah.
As I said it, I was like, ugh.
All right, episode 2.
Wait, we have nothing else on the hairbrush.
Okay,
The Peach's thick locks. I mean, you're just jumping the gun. You don't even want to break down the Peach's hairdo. His giant, thick, I don't even know what that hair was.
He had
but
hair
it was
like Johnny Bravo. It was blonde and it was like a pompadour.
A pompadour. That's what I was looking for. A pompadour.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him that.
And he comes in a towel and has a duet. There is nothing gayer than a peach and a cucumber in towels in a bathroom singing a duet together. Pick something that is queerer than that, and I will rescind my comments.
All right. I think you've made your case. I can't argue that. All right. So, the second show, The Gourds Must Be Crazy, is the title.
Yeah, it's essentially racism in space.
Whoa. Racism in Space. That's a catchier title. But,
And this is where we learn that Junior Asparagus is in fact a racist.
God, xenophobic too. He's the okay. Before I go off on a Junior rant, would you like to give us a quick recap of what this episode entails?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I don't remember what Junior's not friend's name is.
Fernando.
Okay. So he's talking with his dad, which we learned his dad's name is Mike Asparagus.
I never knew that.
So Junior and Mike are having a little chat, and Mike is like, "Oh, yeah, you should invite your friend Fernando." And Junior's like, "I don't know about Fernando."
Exactly.
And then he's like, "Well, why? He's nice." And he's like, "I don't know."
His reason is
He talks funny. He talks funny.
He talks weird and he eats weird food or something like that.
God.
And he's like, okay, well, he doesn't have honestly, Mike doesn't have a super good response at first. He lets Junior's imagination teach him a lesson instead. But he basically is like, oh, maybe you should anyway. Well, let's talk about it in the morning.
Mike was tired. Mike needed to go to bed.
He was still wearing his tie.
Mm-mm.
And so Junior goes to bed. And then obviously what happens when a kid is left alone in their room, a spaceship comes in through the window.
Mm-hmm. As it does.
And Larry and Bob are on the ship and they're like, hey, we need your help. We're part of the USS Apple. What is it called? The USS Apple Pie?
Yeah, USS Apple Pie. Yeah.
And there's a giant meteor that's going to crash into it if you don't come and help us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Junior says, oh, yeah, well, sounds like you need my help. And then he gets to outer space.
Save the day.
And then he gets there, and then there's a carrot with a really bad Scottish dialect named Scooter. Which I think is hilarious to just have a bad Scottish dialect carrot and name him Scooter.
Oh, God.
But there he is. And there are these two gourds. This is where we first meet our two lovely gourds, Jerry and
Jimmy.
And they're just singing. And Junior's like, oh, who are they? And then the carrot says some racist shit and is like,
What? Not the new guys. They don't know anything. All they do is sing and eat and sing. Between you and me, I think they're crazy.
Food shaming.
Junior says, oh, okay, well, that seems pretty normal. And then they find out that the meteor is actually made of a popcorn ball.
Spoiler alert.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. The meteor is made of a popcorn ball, and then Junior says, oh my God, I have an idea. What if these two little squashes... Actually, you know what? Let's not tell them. And so they grab the two squashes without saying anything.
No warning.
They shove them on two space pods without telling them what's going on, and then launch them into the meteor, which we've just learned is going at 5,000 miles an hour.
They want these gourds to die, truly.
So they launch them onto there, and thank God those squashes can't be squashed. They nibble up that meteorite, and they save everyone, and then they are like, it was delicious. And then Junior was like, well, yeah, it's because you're so different that you were able to do that.
Yeah, he can't let that go.
And then they save the day.
Cannot let that go.
And then Junior goes back home and is like, Dad! Dad! And then Mike runs in and is like, what's wrong? And he goes, nothing. But I am going to invite Fernando. And then does a little hair toss. And then he's like, okay, well, yeah, that's what I told you should do. So I guess good job. And maybe you can learn about his culture.
Look, Mike can only do so much. He just has a little effing jagweed for a kid.
Okay, but Mike actually did a really good job bringing it all together in the end. And he was like, the reason that we should treat everyone well is because we're all the same. All of our feelings are the same on the inside. So what hurts your feelings might hurt someone else's feelings.
Get it, Mike.
And I was like, come on, Mike Asparagus.
Oh, yeah. Junior never got on that train, though. He never quite... Even in the end, he was like, well, Fernando can come over and, like, if a meteor comes, he can, like, eat it up. Or then he brings up the slushy monster. He's like,
yeah. So
basically, he is using these poor humans or poor vegetables who are from different parts of the, I don't know, produce aisle. He just sees them as tools, as things to be used and manipulated and not communicated with.
I agree. Because... like I said, on the spaceship, he didn't tell them the plan. He grabbed them.
Truly.
And then...
Truly. He yelled, grab the gourds. That was his battle cry. Grab the gourds.
If Mike wouldn't have come in the end and saved that, then what we would have learned from the kids is that other people are othered, and they're either weirdos or heroes, but they're not just veggies.
Yeah. Now, okay, I want to hear your opinion on how, I think it was... Jerry the gourd, the yellow gourd, he wound up saving the ship in the end. He discovered, because the ship had lost power this whole time, and that's why it couldn't move to avoid the meteor. And lo and behold, Jerry figured out what the problem was.
He just needed to plug in the power. The cord was laying on the ground right outside of the outlet. No, fry them. They all deserve death. Eat them, stir fry.
I think that was the best conflict resolution right there. And I'm like wondering, so that cord, because it was a cord in their little living room situation in the spaceship. So that, I'm still wondering how that power source, plugging that in, is what turns the whole ship on.
So we were watching Veggie Tales, which are talking vegetables without hands that can just levitate things close to their body. And you are concerned about the logic of how a spaceship
logistically
has power?
Yes, logistically speaking, I'm like, does this cord go directly to the apple pie on top of it? Is that the source of, like, I don't know where the power generation source is on this apple pie ship.
Can we also talk about how this spaceship had a giant apple pie on top? So vegetables are not, you can't eat vegetables, but fruit fully on the table.
It's true. I mean, did you ever see any apples on the Veggie Tale show?
No, but we did see a peach.
We did. And I wonder how the peach felt about that, because it was the same episode. He probably wasn't on set for that, though.
Yeah, they kept that separate.
Also, I'm talking like this, assuming like this wasn't an animation. This was like a live filmed production where the vegetables are like hanging out off screen.
They absolutely
I'm just
are.
now realizing that's my mindset.
Did you see Silly Songs with Larry? It's all a set on the kitchen counter. Of course, they're all just hanging out in their trailers.
Exactly. And it's effective. It was effective because that's where my mind is still at with it. But you're right. It gives slight genocide vibes with that giant apple pie on the top of the ship.
Can we also talk about how the gourds were singing "We Will Dance the Hoochie Coochie"?
Meet me in St. Louis.
I was like, oh boy, hopefully kids don't go looking that up. But 30 years ago, less access to the internet, less readily available.
Look, these are some classy gourds. They were singing a song from the 1944 movie featuring Judy Garland, Meet Me in St. Louis. So they are well watched, well versed in the performing arts, okay? These are some theater gourds right here.
Gay. Okay, let's wrap up with Cordy.
Okay, Cordy. And so
I fucking hate Cordy.
What? You and Bob? Why do you and Bob hate Cordy?
I am with Bob on this. All she does is interrupt him and then pop up a Bible verse. We already learned the lesson. Don't shove it down our throats, and don't be a little catty bitch to interrupt Bob every time he's talking.
Or is Bob interrupting Cordy? I mean, she does it at the same time every single time.
No, she starts it. And then she pauses, and so Bob starts talking, and then she interrupts him. There are even bits where he pauses for a really long time, and he's like, I'm not going to talk until you do it. And then she waits until he talks, and then she interrupts him.
Oh, man.
That is some Karen-ass behavior.
I feel like you and I are Bob and Cordy sometimes. I am the Cordy to your Bob, and vice versa. Oh, wait, but before, okay, yes. In our wrap-up, I also want to see and check in with you. So are you on the junior asparagus hate train now? Have we pulled you over? Because we've already noted that he is super pitchy when he sings, cannot sing. He is racist and xenophobic.
Oh, he wore a hat to bed.
He wore a hat to bed. What type of F-boy move? And it's sideways. That hat is not like turn bill in the front, baseball cap style. Like it is
that's
fully on his side.
The last thing.
Fully sideways.
Cordy does offer Leviticus 19:18.
Yes.
Listen, it's one of the better Bible verses that lead them Christians less astray.
I haven't read the entire book of Leviticus. Don't let them know. I read this one.
That's why you still like gay people.
Okay, that's the secret.
You go read. You go read it.
I'll go read the whole thing and come back to you.
There won't be a podcast anymore.
Just a one-shot pod. I'll send you a voice message. My sweet Riley. But you're right. Leviticus 19:18. Love your neighbor as yourself. Riley Jean.
What?
I love you.
Okay.
Wow. Just for that, I'm going to send you the largest minion plushie that I can possibly find.
Okay, that's for another episode. We will tell everyone what that is about at another time. But until then...
Oh, crap. What's our sign-off?
Yeah, we can think of one later.